Now I'm going to journey through their energy bodies, feeling they can feel me in their field. And then I'm just going to allow my hands to rest. So with allowing my hands to rest, I take a moment to just meld. It's like I'm just nesting. And then I can just start to sink. As I've nested, now I start to pour my weight in. And at a certain point, without full pressure, my arms are straight. I'm going to turn my hands in and just start to pour my weight in to release the heels. And then with my knees slightly apart, I'm just going to sink like a cat. Transfer my weight. And relax my body, my arms are straight. I find that rhythm. And I pour my weight from left to right. And then I'm going to curl my toes under and I'm going to start to bring myself up. Peeling the calf away from the shin. And then I'm going to come down. I'm not on the bone, I'm just coaxing the muscle to release away from the shin bone. And as I come up again the next time, I find the kneecaps and I just nest there again. I sink, not any pressure, I'm just holding, cupping, supporting. And I start to circulate in. Unwinding the fascia there in the knees. And then I can come in a little bit closer and just scoop underneath the thighs and roll the muscles in and down. I'm very slowly pouring my weight over. And then I'm going to scoop around and pour my weight down. And come from under, scoop all the way around and pour my weight down. And now I can get up towards like the knicker line, the groin line, where we had our feet in folded leaf. And I'm again using that same principle of stacking my bones. I'm pouring my shoulders over my wrists, starting to transfer my weight, sinking in, curl my toes under. I'm going to come up into a sort of Uttanasana downward dog mix. And I'm really letting my weight pour down through my wrists. I should feel a pulse if they're alive. I should feel a pulse. Are they alive? Nice, good, strong pulse. And then I'm just going to, as slowly as I come in, I'm going to come out by shifting my weight back. I'm still doing yoga essentially, and then I just stroke down, 3 strokes. Nice. And I'm going to shift back. I'll just bring in a few harmonics. This returns the body to its sort of liquid state. I mean, we're 89% water, so we're just going to remind the body it can just let go and become fluid. And softens the spine, softens the hard edges. And you're just wobbling, vibrating, sending a pulse, side to side, snaking the spine. Relax your shoulders. And it can be so effort, you could really press your belly there as well, just create stability. You could even just wobble without your hands. Just release it and just feel like a dance. There's a sacred dance opening up here. So we completely shift gears again now. We're in Thai massage, so you can feel that everything can move in circles, in rhythm, synchronized with the breath. You're evoking surrender, eliciting that felt sense of just openness. And so it might take a while for them to really let go of their glutes, their lumbar. Maybe there's a sort of tension in their neck. You're evening that out. You're wobbling out their head. You should let the rhythm pulse up all the way to the head. You've got this sort of head wobble, chai walla kind of head wobble going on. And then from here, I'm just going to cup underneath the heels. Place my chest to sternum against the feet now, taking a deep breath in. I'm going to just lunge back, straight arms, so it's minimal effort for me. all the way back, releasing the fascia all along the back body, all the way up. It's kind of like you're pulling down from the skull. And release back. Breathe in again. Fold forwards. And this time I'm going to tuck the toes under my ribs, releasing my diaphragm. Really good tummy massage. It's good for track wind. And so I'm just letting that whole diaphragm area release in me too. Breathe in and exhale, lengthen back, pouring back, sending your belly forward, straight spine. And then I'm going to just use my hara, send pulses from this power center through the body. And now you should get a sort of a head affirmative nod. You can ask them anything, they're going to say yes. You just use the rhythm of the music to pulse. And you really can send from your belly. It's like sending Shakti, that primal power from your hara, from that power center, pulsing up through their body, relaxing your shoulders. It's going to be really effortless how you can help to open one another. And again, it can take a while for them to really surrender. So you can do this one for quite a long time, and you might think, oh, they'll get bored of it. But actually, there's layers and layers. We're like layers of an onion. We can just keep surrendering deeper and deeper holding. Subtler and subtler levels of holding intention. They didn't even know it was there. But eventually, they're kind of losing their reference point because of the rhythm, the vibrational rocking. They kind of just can't hold on eventually. It just kind of goes, oh, okay, I let go. And that's what we want. So then from here, I'm going to just drop her right leg down. And I'm going to come to standing, holding, cupping her left leg in the palm of my hand. I'm going to turn to face that foot and just nesting the ball of my foot, bending my knee, fully bending my knee. I'm just going to lunge forward just to release that heel again. And then start to walk up again using the ball of my foot to peel the muscle away from that shin bone. Not putting any pressure on the bone, really making sure I'm bending my knees. So you need to really bend your knees because otherwise it's too much for them. And you need to pour in slowly. Because if you go in slowly, what you'll find is that the body just sort of yields. You can go in so much deeper. But if you go in fast and hard, it contracts, it tightens, it hardens. It builds up defense and barriers. What we're doing here is breaking down barriers. Emotional, mental, physical. Feel that felt sense of oneness just open up and you're listening to each other. You're in a body dialogue. So really listening, not just following what I'm leading, but listening inside the body you're working with. Go, okay, that's what it wants. And look to their facial expressions as well. You look, see if they're blinking or contorting in any way. So now I'm just going to use my knee to just open up her knee. In this sort of opening position here, I'm going to find a way to roll the muscle in and down, roll in and down. And then I'm going to find that alignment in the nickel line, and I'm just going to start to pull my weight in another blood stop, which has huge benefit. And the blood stops really cleanse the etheric field and obviously purify the blood. So then everything starts to work optimally. So you can really feel those lymph nodes starting to pump. Again, you want to feel for pulse. And my feet in the same position as they were for folded leaf, not on the hips, just below in that nickel line. I'm pouring my weight, transferring it through. Now you can see how I've got my arms straight, and I'm just sinking into my own knee. And if you straighten your arms, you'll find that it takes off any strain in you. Because you don't want to transfer any kind of strain from you into them. You want to keep your body relaxed, fluid like a dance, circulating your pelvis to create everything to be soft. Gradually open up. And I lower that leg down, and I pick up the other leg. And I turn to face that other foot. I nestle the ball of my foot into the heel. Sinking. letting that knee bend. Really let it bend, guys. You can pour weight in slowly. So there's nothing invasive, it's a very gentle opening that creates a real deepening, and the body just yields. It says, yes, okay, I let you in. So now I'm going to match up the arch of my foot, roll it in and press down. So rolling that thigh in, spiraling it in, rolling it in, spiraling it in. Yeah, excellent. Really roll it in. And now I'm going to just match up that nickel line, same foot position as folded leaf. And I'm going to start to pour my weight in, sinking down. My legs, my knees bent and slowly pouring in. My straight arm there means I can transfer my weight slowly, consistently. And it's no strain for me. Look at them, see if it's too much. And you should feel a pulse. If they seem like they're in any kind of strain, you just back off. And then from here, you can come out as slowly as you went in. Support that knee as you come out to roll it in. And then I'm going to step both legs over. Get hold of the front of the foot. And I'm just going to roll this way. Just little lunges, rolling. Really letting the toe direct in. Now I'm going to add to that, I'm going to press into the femur. The femur's feeding into the hip socket, creating a compression, and then pull out traction. So now I'm making circles, pressing in. Really visualize the femur and how it sort of feeds into the hip socket. Sink it in to release it and roll out. You guys have got the sense and the rhythm. Create that circle. The body really responds well to circles. Even the energy of fashion, the body moves in circles. So we roll out. And then we're going to swap over, stepping over. Nice. Yeah, that's really nice, guys. And lean back a little bit more so you can, send your hips forward so you're not within your strain and your arms carrying. Use the straight arm principle and really lean back like a dance. Keep that circle going. It unwinds everything. You're like unwinding a corkscrew, unwinding a sort of tight ball, letting it unravel. And then I'm just going to get hold of both and just create a little pulse here again, just a little bounce. And now I'm coming to a sumo wrestler position, resting my forearms above my knees and pull back. Now there's even more lengthened here now in her. I can feel the body really has grown, the spine is lengthened even. And I come up, like a chivalrous pose. I offer her my knee. I'm in a sort of Hanuman position. And I'm going to cross the inner foot ankle over the outer, making sure that the back of her knees are directly over my thigh. I've got to be sort of in level with her hips, so my knees are there in level with her hips. And I'm facing her head. So now I want to create a sort of pivot. I'm going to press down, my straight arm is pressing down, so I leverage her off the ground, so I should be able to wobble her pelvis. Now for my hara, I just send ripples, pulses, so that she's just undulating, releasing. And then she can't hold her own glutes, like she can't keep that contraction going. You're kind of just like letting gravity do the work, and so much Thai massage is that. You're letting gravity do the work. You're just coaxing, inviting something into openness, and it can be really effortless giving. That's how we can give massage for so long. So from this pivot, you can press down all of you a little bit more, onto the front of the foot, not onto the ankle, but onto the front of the foot. Notice how my arm is straight, so you can get it to that place where it's straight. And now I'm going to create circles, rounding circles. My arm is straight and bending, leveraging her off the ground. Nice, very nice. And then I'm just going to find the right front of her hip bones and just start to pull my weight down. Sinking, sinking, sinking. And transferring my weight to left to right for a little bit. And this opens up the back of that sacroiliac joint. Transferring my weight. And I've got the iliac crest nestled perfectly. Like, the body's like a puzzle. It fits so perfectly together. You can just nest the iliac crest there into the palm of the hands and then just sink and transfer the weight from left to right. This can deeply release the sacrum, especially after all the basing that we've been doing with acro yoga. So now I'm going to just help the lungs open a little bit. I'm just going to release the whole belly, torso area just through this undulating side to side as a rhythm that we haven't really incorporated in yet. We want to really bring the body into this fluid, open, childlike state. So we're just wobbling out here. You can use your forearms a bit. We'll bring the arms up. And you do the heel of the hands into the lung points, both sides. I'm going to pull my weight like a cat onto one side and then circulate my pelvis onto the other. So I'm using the circles, which is very relaxing for my pelvis, and it also helps me evenly transfer the weight from left to right. Yeah. So you find that the heel of the hand matches up to the joint of the arm into the chest here, and it sinks. So you're not pushing away that way. I wanted to emphasize that you're drawing the heel of the hand in towards the heart and down. That will feel nice. It won't feel nice if you press away at your skin bone. And then arms straight, pull weight, straighten your arms a bit more, and circulate. We're going to get the circles down, guys. Yeah. It's always like ladies have no problems with the circles.
Wonder why.
And then we're going to just palm press the arms. And as I'm doing this, I'm slightly just rolling out in the muscles, sort of cupping from underneath and rolling out. And I'm still circulating my pelvis. When I get back to here, I can sink back. It's like taking a little rest in my body to make sure it still stays relaxed. And then you can feel her whole lung energy just open. She just took a deep breath because these are lung points and they also store a lot of grief. So this is really helpful to open them. I'm not necessarily saying they are for you, but in general there will be points you'd release to open the heart, to release the lungs. And I'm just going to create another little head wobble because we love chai wobblers. And the shoulders are really melting away from the ears here now. And I'm leaning back. Notice I'm not pulling, bunching up here. So yeah, that's it. Relax your shoulders, lean back. Arms straight. Arms straight. I want to see no bent arms. Fully straighten. And then release out. And then from here, I come up again. I drop the outer leg down. I step over her hips, sort of in alignment with her hip. I place her hands up, like on the cross. And I make sure that her knees are really over my thigh. And there's a diagonal, it's like her knees matching up towards my knee. I'm not in the middle of the thigh now. And here I start to lunge again. And I'm softly cupping the knee, no pressure on it, just creating circles, tracing circles in the air with her toes. See that circle happen. And that will really unwind her hips. And then from here, I place both my hands down above her shoulders. And you can see how this knee's up. All I'm going to do is bring this knee down and the other one's going to come up. So I'm just swapping over. So this knee is up, I'm going to put it down, and this one comes up. So this is the Russian dance. Yeah. So this knee's down, yeah, that's it, and the other one's up. Good, you all got it, it's amazing. And now I'm going to use the 4 fingers together, and I'm just going to nestle my fingers into that sacroiliac joint, this side of it. I'm just going to feel for it. Deep breath in and pull back. Breathe in and pull back, releasing the sacrum. Nice. And then I'm going to come back out a bit. It's kind of going to collect her other arm. Roll her onto the side and bring the pillow now underneath. Now I have her on her side. I'm going to swap my knees again. So this one's up, it's now going to go down. This is the Russian dance. Good one, guys. So now I have her in a side position. Her glutes are facing me here. I can see a boomerang. So it's like a little canyon. And I just want to release it because it can be a lot of tension in there. So beautifully done, Mang's head. So this forearm is quite good. I don't want to use my elbows, but I want to use my forearm to just encourage us to just pick up that arm and roll her onto the side. There you go. So I just want to encourage a release here in the glutes, especially after a bit of basing. So I can find that my whole forearm kind of nestles into that dip, and I just start to slowly sink. And then I'm just going to be like a rolling pin. I'm just going to roll out that IT band. It's also the gallbladder band, so it can be quite tight and painful for people, especially if we're feeling a bit toxic. Gallbladder cleanse time. Rolling, really let that arm roll, just soft circles. And then I'm going to let that knee come down. I'm going to allow her to stay in that side position, and I'm going to come to face her back. So both my knees are on the ground here. I'm in this digestive pose, just sitting on my knees. I'm going to nestle my knees into sort of the lower part of her back, the top part of her pelvis. Not into her bum, but staying a bit higher, lining up to the sacrum. I'm going to be quite close in. And I'm going to make diamond shapes now with my hands to sort of massage the kidneys. I'm just going to sink with my arms straight, slowly pouring my weight and squeezing in towards the spine. So I'm doing this movement. You guys can see there. Squeezing in towards the spine, all around the kidney area basically, releasing. And you don't need to go up higher, it's just in the lower part, squeezing in towards the spine with this diamond shape. My arms are straight, so I'm pouring my weight. So yeah, guys, get your arms straighter and then just pull your weight from here. Move from your hara, sink the weight in. And then your spine stays straight, you're still doing yoga. And then I'm just going to direct my hands opposite directions, match up my palm, back of the sacrum there, rest my hand here. Start to sink my hand down and away, like so. The heel of my hand is sort of nesting into the occiput there, and I'm pressing it away and down at the same time. So I'm creating a traction here, going like this direction. Nice. And you're breathing into that little traction there. And release. So now I'm just going to start to butterfly down that gallbladder line. Straight arms. Coming up again. And now I just want to sink that down, and it just gradually lets go. And then I can, if I feel comfortable with that, I can use my belly to just sink that hip down. And making sure that she's got something with her foot underneath it. So I'm using my belly to sink her down. And it just eventually yields, it just lets go, it stops holding. Yeah, and it's quite a good tummy massage as well. So then when I feel she's really flat down, then I can bring my hand over the ankle and loop under the ankle and the inner thigh, keeping my knees close to the back of the sacrum, roll her onto my lap. Does that make sense? Bring your knees together, that will help. Yeah. Loop under and roll her. And if it's not quite there, you just lift her up into your lap a bit. Yeah. So now to position them, you're going to draw the knee in towards the chest. Good. Draw her knee towards the chest. Loop both arms over. Clasp the outside of the hip. My arms are straight again. I'm taking a deep breath in, I'm rolling forward. Exhale. Roll back. I'm massaging the back of the pelvis with my knees while she's in my lap. Same time I'm opening up her hip flexors. So it doesn't even look like much, but it is a very deep opening there for them. And it's helpful if you ask them to bring their hands up above their head. So you can bring like this. Yes. Now we're going to make circles. So come back to that rhythm, that circle of life. And then from here, we're going to do a little banana split. Straightening the leg. She's really lovely and open, but not everyone would be. Yes. And then just start to straighten my arm away. Yeah. And then give her a little bit of a rest to calibrate, just looking at my head here. And then we bring it down. And I've got to check that both arms are up. So I've seen that. So now I'm going to scoop under, really under, and roll her in. Really nice. And so from here, I'm just going to match up my hand again and place it on that sacroiliac joint. It's just nesting there, which is just really nurturing. I'm going to let her have a cushion to make sure that they've all got a cushion. Then I'm going to place my left hand just to create stillness there. And there's a slight engagement, and I'm slightly pulling away here just to create space, and I'm just inviting her to breathe. So much happens in the undoing, in the silence, in the still point, in the holding. I mean, this is where we let go. And just like little babies. And you can like slowly, softly rock if you want, just a little bit. Notice how the breathing deepens and opens up. How their body just drops and releases its holding. And some of us are really tight in the IT band, so if you can feel them straining, you can bring their knees up and just cup them like that for a little bit. And then when you want to bring them down, you'd have to straighten out. You hold on to the back of the sacrum here. You deep breath in, roll back, and roll down. I'm kind of doing a cranial sacral maneuver now where I pull down to pull out, to lengthen the tailbone away. And now I'm just sitting at her side. I want to get to the whole body in a way that's really comprehensive. So I'm going to just slowly nestle my sort of foot into the armpit. And then my other foot comes into the hip. And here you can just sort of match the foot up. And just first of all just start to create a little undulation at the hip. And then if you feel that you can coordinate it, it's 1, 2, 1, 2.